Hi there, Tyler with Infinity Prospecting here. Alright, so the main context of this video is that I'm trying to figure out what the best day of the year to prospect a Caribou River system is. So in other words, what is the lowest water level of the year? When can you go out there and get the most gold? I'll do a full video eventually on all the things that I learned there, but the gist of this is that we're going out there really early in the spring in order to get some gold in the limbo period before the spring melt actually comes in full force. After a nice drive through the mountains, we're quickly on site. It's a beautiful day, which might be our only day, so we get testing and set up as quickly as possible so that we can sluice a bit before it gets too cold. Since the water levels are so low, we are able to just walk into normally inaccessible areas, and so the pans are pretty great right off the bat, even in a really light surface material. Long gun here. Let's take a look at the low water levels. There's my prospecting partner. And it's amazing. You can see gravel bars all across here. Not huge, but she adds up. Yeah. There's lots of little dots. With everything set up and good test pans and a cold front moving in, we set to work sluicing. Riffles. The Devon Gold Vortex Drop Riffle. You can just see how they kind of agitate. There's little heavy pieces in the middle in the wells. And even this just is classified down to 1/4 inch. The front of the lips have gold, and oh, look at it as they clear out at the front there. The big riffle of gold. This is like whatever 60% of a pail, so pretty cool. And if you zoom in on some of the ripples too, it's kind of neat. Yeah, there's flakes of gold in everyone. And as we let it run, it'll purge. Because we barely run anything, it's hard to say what we're getting, but it already looks pretty good. You can see gold in every scoop. On the front of the V-mat has a bunch of little chipettes, look. That's good. Could be worse. We only managed to fill about 5 5-gallon pails of classified material. It actually took us longer to set up than it did to run the tests. As soon as it gets dark, our lines start to freeze up, as did the bottom of the buckets where I was trying to scoop into the sluice, but we powered through until our sample was complete. New Canadian Gold Rush Frozen March Edition. Just a little panoramic view of our site, and where I ended up crawling over the snow there. Camp's pretty nice. Except we got set up a bit too late. Sluice set up. better view of what this zone looks like up close. That's where we stack the rocks. I actually can't see with the viewfinder right now, so I can't see quite what I'm aiming at, but this is all we got. Just a little bit so far. Little zone under here, under the iron rope to tie off the logging stuff. And then continuing on here, this was all just, this is all clay goo stuff that you should hot knife through butter basically, and now it is frozen so solid you'd break a toe if you attempted to kick a rock over here. And everything really freezes up. So it's all about getting this perfect timing. Pretty amazing too how fast it flows. When we first got here an hour ago, the river had almost stopped. The slush had built up, and now with the sun up, it's about 11 o'clock, and so it's, I guess, melted it enough that everything's really starting to move again at a normal pace. Here's a view of the river. There's the big tree that I did in the summer. Look at all this exposed ground. Hey everyone, Long Gun here. Testing out the river theory. I crunched all the recent river data regarding the water levels and water flow in this river system. Calculated the lowest day of the year, and this should be it. And it is definitely very low. For an extremely wide river, if it goes down just a little bit, it does expose a lot of ground. And downside, it is very cold, and the weather just changed on us to get even colder. So I've been planning this for weeks, and it's been nice for weeks. So in theory, this could be done a little bit before this period and a bit after, ideally a bit after in the warmer period, and add up to a whole bunch of additional gold. This just exposes a whole bunch of unreal stuff. Like even yesterday, this was all open, and you could just easily walk through here and find all this, which we still might do here. Hopefully it warms up and breaks up. But reading the rivers and getting the right dates and timing your trips correctly, plus with good data, really helps narrow down the trips, and you can really increase the amount of gold you can get, because it increases the spots you can work, and you can sometimes get access to way better ground that other people haven't been able to work because it's such a limited opportunity. Alright, so this is within a low pressure zone, but I just did a very big heaping pan there and almost no gold, and it's kind of frozen up. I'd like to do more tests in this area and get down lower, but it's not feasible at this moment. Next week this will all be melted and available though. As you can see in behind the beaver dam here, just the zone, how low everything is, how flat these banks are as well. It's right out to that other point. That night there was a cold spell and the pandemic started, so after another day of exploration we returned home with a little bit of gold. A theory mostly proven, with a little more work needed there, as well as some gifts of toilet paper for our loved ones. Okay, one of the tricks here is you dump your snuffer bottle out into the creased page of golds there. You have an easy pouring mechanism. You just let it dry, and then you can easily transfer it to another paper, or you can use a frying pan or something if you are tight for time. Zero out, hopefully. There we go. And then very awkward to do with one hand. Still some gold in there, but about 2.5 grams. Not too bad for about 3 real pails, five-ish total, probably 7, 8 raw pails. That's not very much work.